I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about a Twitter survey I put out a few weeks ago. It came from some of my thoughts on looking at social media and seeing the amount of anger and hate that can be displayed. And I particularly found if someone presented a view that was different to their followers or other people on social media, you could get really shot down for it or put in a particular box. This person thinks this thing, therefore what they think is rubbish. And it makes me concerned in terms of how I share my views, because I don't want to get attacked like that. But yeah, I have to be clear when there's something that I feel that is important, that I'm ready to take the abuse that comes from it. But that idea of responding to comments if we see them as hateful, with hate, is something that challenged me. And I suppose my basis, I think the best way to respond to those is through love. But it occurred to me that maybe not everyone sees it in that way. And so I set up this Twitter survey, my first Twitter survey. I was really excited. Perhaps I did a couple of things wrong with it, but I asked the question, is it best to respond to hate with love or with hate? And I was surprised at the results. Fairly quickly, 60 to 70% of people were saying actually it's best to respond with hate. And I did bias the survey, and I do apologise for that, because I put on some comments and I could see as I put those comments on how that impacted people's responses. But I wonder why it was getting that response. There might be because perhaps I set the question up in an antagonistic way, and again I apologise for that. It might be because I only gave two answers. I didn't give room for comment or room for people to give other. It might be because the question wasn't very specific. So you could answer, should I respond to hateful comments on social media or in person or on the street or to customers. So I tweaked the survey a little bit and ran it a few more times. But I still felt the learning was really important about how to respond to hate. My view is that you respond to hate with love. It's the only way that gets you any mileage. And I suppose I'm taking lessons from the likes of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, those world leaders that have impacted nations by their response to hate. But it drills down to a personal level, to a day-to-day level, particularly when I'm working with the young people that we work with in alternative provision. Some of those young people are full of hate. It can be very abusive, very aggressive, very angry. And if I was to respond to them in the same way that they speak to me at times, that would go nowhere positive very quickly. It's going to go downhill really quick. So instead I respond to them with love, and I try to communicate that. The louder they get, the quieter I get. The more aggressive their language, the more meek my language. And in fact, one lad I would say to him, look at me. Am I shouting? Am I swearing at you? Do I look aggressive? Look at my body language. How does this look to you? Please understand where I'm coming from. And I would try to break down for him the physical cues in terms of how I was responding, to try and encourage him to see where I was coming from, that I wasn't attacking him. I would say, look, I'm on your side. I want to help you with this. Let's find a way to make this work. And for me that provided the kind of the measure of how I need to respond to young people, but also the effective way to respond on social media, people in the street. I recognise there's times to ignore things, but when someone's in my sphere, when there's someone that I can reach, that I can touch, that I can impact, I think the most effective way to bring change and bring challenge is from a basis of love. And I've certainly seen it with the young people we've worked with, and I suppose that's what I wanted to recommend today.